Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Just another little quick video about funny or effed up stories about my life. This is one about a landlord I once had. It was more his batshit crazy wife. So what happened is I was living in Toronto, downtown Toronto, and I had a roommate who was a thief and was stealing from me, and I called him out on it, and it didn't work out so good. So I ended up moving to Markham with Tracy, and so anyway, Tracy's my wife. Anyway, for if you don't know where Markham is, I know my friends, Canadian friends know where Markham is, but a lot of people that watch my videos and stuff, and I thank all of you for watching my videos. And if you're new to me, if you want to subscribe, that would also help me out big time, get me up to that 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here slightly. But so we ended up moving to Markham. Markham's a small city just northeast of Toronto, and so it was a basement apartment. And the guy was super chill. He was a really nice guy, and everything's fine. And he had a fiance. She would show up once in a while. They didn't live together at this point, but they show up once in a while. Or she would show up once in a while, and and she'd make all kinds of noise and ruckus, and I couldn't understand why anyone would want to be with a person like this because she was out of her mind. But you know, everybody has different tastes. So anyway, he had a cat and living comfortably, and I'll get to the reason I'm mentioning that in a second. But so eventually they get married. And at first everything was fine. She was okay, and she'd even give me a ride to work once in a while because I worked nearby. And but then just one day, I guess she decided she wanted the basement back, and that's fine, right? They want to use the basement. It's their house, so all you have to do is just come to me and say, we want, give us a timeline, and we'll find another place and whatever. And yeah, I thought that was gonna be a car alarm, but anyway, so she'd be doing all this crazy stuff. Now, before she moved in, he had a cat, as I said, and then she had a chihuahua. So she moved in, the chihuahua was there, and then suddenly the cat disappeared. And they would argue all the time, and it was kind of funny because he'd be screaming at her, calling F this, F you, and all this other really aggressive, and she'd get back at him by saying, "You're just a meathead." That was always her response. And then he yelled at her, said, "You killed my cat," and all this stuff. And I can't remember all the arguments, but that had come up a couple of times. And not that that's funny that someone would kill their spouse's pets, or just kill pets. Speaking of pets, come here. No? Okay. But she would come home from work, he wouldn't even be home, and she would run from one side of the house to the other. Sometimes he'd be there too and doing the same thing. They'd literally run from one side of the house to the other, back and forth for about 5 minutes, making pig noises, like running, going, ee, 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 and we're downstairs. What the fuck are they doing up there? What's wrong with these people? And this was a constant thing. Now, maybe some cutesy thing they would do, but it was the funniest sounding thing because it was every day. And or they would be quiet all of a sudden. I'd be sitting there watching a movie or something, and out of the blue I would just hear wee, 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 and they're running around just thump, 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 like if you've ever lived under children, that's what it was like. But skipping ahead, she had two chihuahuas, and then eventually she had five chihuahuas. And don't get me wrong, I love animals, I love dogs, dogs, cats, animals in general. Most people that know me know that. But the problem is we had to walk through the backyard to get to our door, our apartment. And and we work in bars and restaurants and things. So we'd get home, it'd be dark out, so the dogs would be in the yard and everything during the day. And they'd be shitting everywhere. Like there was it was like landmines, and you'd have to you couldn't see anything. And it was before smartphones, so I wasn't carrying a flashlight around with me in my pocket. And sometimes you'd step on you, get inside the apartment, you're like, ah, fuck, I stepped in dog shit again. So Finally, I got mad and I kept asking her. I was like, "Can you clean up your dog crap?" Right? Like, we walk through here and there's dog shit everywhere, and I can't see it at night. And eventually, like she wouldn't do it. She just refused. So when I got mad and I scooped it all. We already knew we were gonna leave, so I scooped it all up with a shovel and threw it literally all over her driveway. That was my way of saying like "f you" because we've asked you kindly to not do this, or clean up after your dogs. Now, this house was located right alongside of a train track, so there's a fence, and there's a big hole in the fence on, like, not in their yard, but outside of their yard. And she just always called in the city to get it patched up, and the kids would always rip it open and go through. And I went through it all the time. So one day, I know she'd cleaned up the dog crap. So I'm walking along this fence, and I get to where their backyard meets the fence, kind of thing. And so I'm walking along the tracks, and I look over and I see this bush, and I happen to notice all these little white baggies hanging off the bush. So what I realized what she was doing, she was picking up the dog crap in the baggies and then throwing them over the fence. And they were hanging off. It looked like Christmas tree decorations, but it was little white bags. This is before it was a common thing. You'd see the dog poop bags everywhere, right? So there's little white bags. I'm like, if you're gonna throw it over the fence, you might as well just throw the crap. At least it's gonna break down. But you put it in a plastic bag. Now it's just pollution. You know. So skip ahead. As I said, she'd be making noises, clean up, leaving dog poop everywhere. Um, she got to this thing where she would vacuum every single night at 3 o'clock in the morning above the bedroom. Above where our bedroom was. It was like she would just, and she didn't care. It was just bang, bang, banging it into the furniture, intentionally doing it to wake us up, to disturb us, so we leave. And like I said, all you had to do was give us a timeline, say, we want the basement, got 2 months or whatever, or got a month, or enough time for us to find a place, and we'll happily leave. But just to sit there and just every single night, just bang, 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 having her dogs running around barking, and just there's easier ways, more polite ways to do this. So anyway, we left eventually, obviously, and we ended up moving to another city just north of Toronto, Aurora, and so we hadn't had any contact with them or anything like that. And then just one day we were at the mall and we happened to see them. So, we saw the guy. His name was Rob. He was a nice guy, right? And he actually saw us first and he was like, "Hey, guys," and came over. And we were in a store, I think. And he came over and he said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he calls his wife over and he goes, "Oh, look who it is." And the first thing she goes, "We don't have any of your mail." It was like, "Hi. Not bad. How are you?" It's like, so obviously you're saying you do have some of our mail, because why would you just blurt that out like we're showing up at the mall to ambush you to get our mail back or something? I don't know. She's a weird woman. And the scary thing is, she was in the medical industry, and she was nuts. And I could tell you, it was in the hospital in Markham, and I'd been there a couple times for various small things, and I could tell you right now, knowing her as I do, if I walk in there and they said, "Oh, this is who's going to be taking care of you," I'd be like, "No, find someone else, because this woman is nuts." So, but anyway, that was just some stories. I know there was more things that I can't think of off the top of my head, because I was just wanted to make a quick little video. But anyway, yeah. So that was my crazy, batshit crazy, insane landlord's wife. Now I know she's not the worst landlord or that people have ever had. Like, I see videos about it and all kinds of fucked up, messed up stories. But she was just nuts, and just kind of a funny person. Oh, and she used to sneeze, and when she sneezed, it was loud. Like, you could hear her. I remember I was walking on the train tracks to work, and I hear "Rachel, Rachel!" Like, it was just these loud, screaming, shrieky sneezes. Like, I know I sneeze pretty loud, but like these were, holy crap. Like, and one day she was in our apartment. They were checking something. There was someone looking at something, and she sneezed right beside me, and it was so loud that I jumped, and the other guy jumped too. It was like, "Ah!" And I looked at her. I was like, "Whoa, down, girl!" Like, kind of joking, and she just shot me this like side eye kind of look, and it's like, "Sorry, that was the loudest sneeze I've ever heard come out of a human being." So like, but But anyway, there's something else I was going to say too. About the sneezing. Was it about the sneezing? I don't know if it was about the sneezing. The heck was it? Oh, yeah. One thing they had to do some work. Not them, but they had some people coming in and doing some work with the water, and they didn't tell us about this at all. Didn't give us any heads up warning. So the people are in our apartment. We're in bed sleeping. I wake up. I can hear people moving around. I thought it was upstairs, so I didn't think. Now this is before I wore boxers. I used to wear briefs, So I come out, and this is like 30 pounds ago. So I walk out. I rarely ever slept with clothes on unless it was just underwear, same as now. But I was prettier then. But I walk out with my underwear, and this guy comes out of the kitchen area, which was kind of blocked off. He comes around the corner. I didn't see him there. I don't see. I didn't see him. He doesn't see me. And then just we literally walk right into each other, and he's standing there like this, and I just kind of. I just went back to bed. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Tell Tracy, I don't know. They're doing some work in there. It would have been nice to know. So actually, we were pretty mad about that, and we did. I think we did confront them and say, if there's going to be people in here, let us know because I'm walking around in my underwear. I could have had I could have been walking out dick swinging. Who knows? I think things are going on upstairs, and they're right here in the same room that I'm in, and pretty much naked. You know, just a little heads up. Just let us know. Just slide a note under the door. But anyway, like I said, the guy was okay. The woman was just, you know. But anyway, with that being said, I think I'm going to call this the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you want to hit that subscribe button, that would be pretty outstanding. And I guess until the next one, bye.